Hello, my little geeks and freaks. Welcome back to my book bowl challenge where I will go through a massive bowl of books and hopefully not lose my sanity in the process. This book review is on the second book of the Aventine University series called Kings and Chaos. Now, guys, before I get into this review, I'm really thinking about changing my YouTube name to being Mythica Reader. I do plan to still do games, but I have yet to do one because the last game I tried to record and edit and upload did not go the way I wanted, so that didn't happen. And I feel like most of the stuff I talk about right now are my reading and my weight loss. And although I will be adding games, I think reading will still be a big part for me. So let me know what you think on that. I think I'm going to do that. Let's hope I don't make that decision before posting this video. So last book ended with Willa seeing a video on the security cam in the king's house involving the kings and her sister Emma, and it makes her not trust them again because maybe now she's thinking that maybe they did hurt her, because why would they lie? One thing about Willa that I can't stand is she knows that the family is in the mafia and she keeps stupidly saying, let's contact the police. Bestie, you can't contact the police. You just keep pissing the guys off when you say that, and you sound stupid. It bothers me. Anyway, the book essentially goes between her trying to hide information because she wants to use it as leverage, so they tell her things, to her doing dangerous things to find out information on Emma, to her being in danger as usual and her life being put at risk. And then there's another game that's being done during this part of the year, which she's once again elected to do, and she hates that, but there is a reason behind them choosing her for these challenges, and I actually do appreciate it a bit. And then her life is at risk again, so they flee. They go to an island where they stay there for some time until they can figure things out, where together they do figure things out. The suspicions that the boys have been keeping from Willa apparently are accurate. I have some suspicions about it, but apparently it is accurate, and they think that they figured out who is behind the disappearances of the girls, including her sister Emma, and who's behind threatening Willa's life. I feel like this book kind of goes into more of their relationship than all the danger. I feel like there was a lot more tension and like attack spread out through the last book, whereas this one definitely had danger and like her being attacked and her life being at risk, but I feel like there was a lot more of her building up this relationship with the three guys, and we do see some very intimate moments with all of them together, which is very nice. I appreciated it. I still hate that the author has Willa like saying AF and STFU and using that type of speech, because it takes me out of the immersion, because nobody thinks like that. Nobody speaks like that. I don't even always text like that anymore. Sometimes, yes, but not all the time. So to me, it's like, stop it. You could just write it normally. We do find out that they kind of randomly put this in, and I don't mind that it was kind of a drop. It wasn't so out of the blue. But apparently Willa forgot a lot of the childhood, and there were things between her and the boys that she doesn't remember. I'd like to know why she lost her memory, and if there's more that she doesn't remember that might be very important for her to remember. But essentially, she saved the Neo and the boys as a whole when they were younger. She stood up for them, and that's why they're so attracted to her. That's why they've always belonged to her. You find out some emotional things about it, and I won't tell you what happened. There might be some spoilers in this review, I will say, but I'm going to try to avoid that. But I will say that you see a lot of Neo's character in this book, and it's very emotional. I think it's very sweet and heartfelt, despite how upsetting it is. Remember last book when she said she was going to be 21 in a few months? Well, in this book, she acknowledged that she's going to be 20. So, a little annoying, but I'm going to try to look past it because it's not important to this book as a whole. It's just a little annoying. A package is dropped off, and in the package, this person keeps giving packages with pictures of her in places that people actually shouldn't be taking pictures of her with their eyes scratched out. What bothers me is that there are pictures of her in public, and then there's a picture of her in the hot tub at their house. How did somebody get close enough to take that picture? Also, there is a lock of her hair. Is nobody concerned about how they got that hair? Because I'm concerned. Or is it not her hair? She said it looks a lot like her hair, so it makes me wonder, is it her mother's hair or is it Emma's hair? Is Emma still alive? I don't know. I doubt Emma's alive, but I'm not going to throw out the possibility until I read the next book. So when somebody breaks into their house to try to unalive them, the guys decide they can't protect her anymore at the king's house because they're trying to get fencing around the house, but the parts are taking forever to come in. So they take her to an island they own. It's a very small island. It's not like some luxury island. It's just an island that has a small house where they can be alone. They stay there for weeks, spend the holidays there, and their relationship definitely grows, but it also comes to it comes to surface that Willa's been hiding things and the boys have been hiding things. And when they both come together and talk about it, they all come to the conclusion of what the boys have been suspecting, which I will not say who they think is involved, but holy shit, I was a little suspicious of it. I wasn't 100% in thinking that, but it is possible that that person is behind the disappearances. When they figure out who they think it is, they decide that they need to go back to the mainland and deal with it. Well, getting back to the mainland was probably the worst things they could do for themselves because they end up facing a lot. I don't know the full extent of what happened because they left it on a cliffhanger, but essentially they're all in danger and they're all very injured. So I'm not sure how that'll end. My thoughts on who it could be. One of her professors is a little bit sketchy. I think he might be involved. I think there's multiple people. There is one of the kings named Enzo. I think he's involved. There has to be multiple people. We already know one of the people that was involved because they were unalived. Now, there was 2 other people unalived in this book who attacked her, but they never said who it was. So I'm not sure if they were just not important, but that's what it is. So I don't know who they were. I do think Neo's father is involved, and I am questioning whether Oscar and Rock's fathers are involved. I don't think so. We don't really hear about them that much. They just seem to be all shitty parents. But I think that Neo's father is involved. Just because he forced Willa to go to that school, knowing that she didn't want to go to that school. He was talking to the dean. He's very cryptic, very odd. I don't get him. I also think Willa's mom's involved, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally. While Willa was on that island, Neo had made it clear that nobody can know where you are. And Willa had talked to her mom, and her mom kept saying, where are you? Like, show me pictures. And she said, I can't send pictures because she wasn't supposed to tell her. But then she gives a lot of details. Like, I see a red lighthouse, and it's not a sandy beachy island. It's more rocky. And maybe that's not enough information, but I feel like it was enough to go on that maybe she told his father came for them. I don't know. I don't know. Regardless, I want to read the next book. Currently, I'm reading The Caged Girl because I'm behind on my reading and I have to finish this as next in my list, and then I will be reading this book, the next book for this series. But I just wish I could skip The Caged Girl so I could read this so I could find out what happens because I need to know. Now, like I said, I hate the speech that they do. I hate some of the plot holes, but I think it's overall a pretty good book. The plot is there for me. The spice is spicing, so I'm happy with it. I realized in the last book review I made for this, I never gave a favorite character. Or maybe I did. I'm not sure. But I think my favorite character in this book is Neo. Only because I feel like there's so many layers to Neo that are just waiting to be unraveled. And I think his past and his thoughts and his actions are very interesting. So I do like him as a character. Also, this is described as a bully romance series. I don't see it. I do think Neo can sometimes be a jerk, but I wouldn't say it's a bully thing. Oscar and Rock are like right on the Willa train right away. Neo is avoiding it, and people are definitely hating on her because of her past, but not to the degree that she would have expected, and I just don't see it as a bully romance. So that is one complaint I will also add. But other than that, I will say it was good enough for me to enjoy reading it. If you don't like reading stuff that literally says stupid AF, don't read it. I recommend it just because I do think the story is interesting enough. It's different. I've never read mafia meets college meets mystery of a disappearing family member. So I like it. I think it has a lot of potential. So I could just be so eager for all of these books because of how bad Morally Gray Billionaires went. But I think like I was pretty like I'm pretty honest about my reviews. Like I didn't hate them. Like it makes me want to read it. Sure, there's a lot of issues with the books that I complain about, but I don't expect every book to be perfect. I just want to enjoy the book. Before I forget, because I'm just talking about what my feelings are on this book, I should add in my favorite quote, which is when Will is thinking, because she thinks that she's changing with the boys, and then it kind of clicks on her that maybe she said, maybe I wasn't changing. Maybe deep down this was who I'd always been. And I think that's really powerful. She's always lived in her sister's shadow, and she's always been quiet and reserved, and I think she's finally allowing herself to be free because she's not in the shadow of her sister. I do think it's funny that she keeps saying, like, her only priority is to find her sister, and while, yes, she definitely looks for things with her sister, it is definitely not her only priority. Like, she's in college, she's focusing on her classes, she's falling in love for 3 men, even though she won't admit it. And she keeps saying she's going to leave when she finds out what happened to her sister, but I doubt that's going to happen because she's falling in love with these men. And I think that she's finally seeing her potential, and I think that that's really powerful. Again, I'm still wondering if there's more of her memory that she just doesn't have, especially maybe on what happened to her father. I'm thinking there's some more there that maybe she knows about but doesn't remember. I'm also starting to think that Neo's dad might be involved with what happened to her father. I don't think he actually betrayed the mafia. I don't know. That's what makes me think that maybe Willa's mom is also involved. I'm not sure. It's very confusing. But I guess we'll find out in the next book. Anyway, that is it for now. I will see you guys in the next one. It will be the Cage Girl next. I can tell you right now, I like it and hate it at the same time, just like the last book. I think I like this one slightly less, though. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. I'm done rambling. Like the video, comment your thoughts. Let me know if you guys have read this book or not. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already to show your support, and hit that notification bell to be informed every time I post a new video. I appreciate all the support, and I'm glad for anybody who watches any of my content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.